Dolby Atmos is about one thing and one thing only, and that is metadata. What is metadata? I'll show you right now. All right, so here we are in Logic Pro, and this thing to the right is the Dolby Atmos renderer, and this window on the left is the 3D object panner. Now this guy right here on the left, this is where the metadata is. Okay, this is where it lives. So I got a little test audio, and it's on a loop, so I'm just gonna hit play, and here we see the sound is in the front left. Now if I move it over here, it's in the front right. Move it over here, it's in your center channel. And so this, controls the front, back, left, and right. And this bottom one here, the elevation. So if I put a sound right here, you can see it on the Dolby Atmos renderer. So this is where the metadata is. So any object flying around you in a movie, in music, or whatever, it's all based on this metadata. Steve from Home Theater Gurus just put out a new video talking about the tolerances for the speaker setup in a studio and your home. And if you want to get a good Atmos experience, you should mimic what's happening in the studio. Now, that part I totally like, and I'm totally all about that. However, the speaker layout is actually irrelevant, and I'll show you why. If we look at the Dolby Atmos renderer, up here it says monitoring format. So if I click on this guy here, I can choose 714, I can choose 514, and if you notice, the ball is still in the same place, right? The sound is in the same spot. Let's move it up here, okay? Let's change this a little bit. Actually, let me do one thing. Let me make this a little bit more entertaining. All right, so what I did was I drew in some automation, right? This is all the metadata that is taking what's in the 3D object panner and making it happen in the Dolby Atmos renderer. As you can see, no matter which monitoring format I'm choosing, the metadata is still the same, and that sound is bouncing around exactly how I have it in the 3D object panner. So I like what Steve has to say as far as, you want to mimic what's happening in the studio, but what's happening in the studio is actually the metadata happening in the 3D object panner and what's happening in the Dolby Atmos renderer. You have to understand that the studio space is irrelevant in making Atmos. All the Atmos is created by the metadata in the 3D object panner, which is then feeding the Dolby Atmos renderer. So I love the idea of mimicking what's happening in the studio, but what's happening in the studio is irrelevant from the actual studio speaker layout. It's all done in the computer.
In the computer. It's so simple.
So the thought of matching your speaker layout for your home theater to go along with the tolerances for the speaker layout in a music studio doesn't really make sense. So to properly replicate what's happening in the Dolby Atmos renderer, you should have a speaker layout that coincides with this cube that's on your screen. So if you can, in your space, and I know it's hard, especially in a living room or in some of your home theaters, if you can mimic your speaker boundary to the boundary box here in the Dolby Atmos renderer, you will get the most optimal Dolby Atmos experience. And look, I don't have any skin in the game. I don't make a living selling people home theater plans, and I haven't done that at all, right? I'm not selling you guys anything. I'm just trying to find out what is the best experience. So I'm actually being selfish. I want you guys to have the best Dolby Atmos experience so that when you play one of my files, you'll hear it to its 100% potential. So that's why we're making more of these videos, and I'm sorry, it feels like I'm beating a dead horse, but that's pretty much the way it goes. I'm busting my butt to make something really cool for you guys, and half of you are going to hear it the way it's supposed to be, and the other half are just going to be like, oh no, it's still cool. No, it's 80% cool. That other 20% of yeah, this is awesome, you're not going to get. But damn, I was nauseous like so many times. I literally had to stop with working on this song, but it's going to sound so cool. You guys are going to love it. And if you have a speaker layout that mimics the Dolby Atmos renderer and what's actually happening in the studio, which is inside the computer, then you're going to love it. You're going to be blown out of the water, and you're going to be like, damn, we should just start calling you Mr. Atmos. Anyway, that's it for this video. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and definitely download my free Atmos content. Sign up for the email list. You'll get some emails, and then you'll get the download links. That's it. That's all. Have a nice day. Peace.
Beep.